Road transport business is a common means of transportation in Nigeria, and millions of Nigerians rely on it on a daily basis. It is used to transport both people and goods from one location to another. So if you're interested in starting a road transport business, this video is for you. It's a highly profitable business if it is done right. So in this video, what I'll be doing is to share with you steps on how to start a road transport business. So stay tuned till the very end. The first step you need to consider is to define your niche. Road transport business has two major types of there are two major types of road transport business. Number one is the passenger transport aspect of it, and then you also have carriage, that is haulage, freight, goods, that is using road transport to transport goods only. So you have to decide if you're going into passenger transport. Are you using taxis? Are you going into car hailing services, which is known as which of course we have some companies here that are doing that, like Bolt, Uber? Or are you going into interstate or intercity travels? So you just have to decide and define your niche. But if you're going into carriage of goods, that is freight or haulage services, you can either consider logistics or courier services, that is using pickup vans, motorcycles, tricycles inclusive, also known as keke napep in Nigeria. So you have to be able to define your niche. So that's the first step. The second step is to choose a good location. You do not want to situate your business in a place where you may not have or may not find people. That is in a scarce environment where you can't find people or even goods to transport. So it's important that you locate your business in a place, have an operational base where you can have easy accessibility to both passengers and even goods. For passengers, you can locate your business close to a school or have just that operational base there, close to a school, in work environments, offices, in a heavily saturated environment filled with people and goods, basically. So you know that if you're going into carriage or haulage services, you have to consider situating your business close to a market or a park. So that being said, let's talk about the next step, which is set clear financial expectations. So it is one thing for you to have the capital to start. It's another thing for you to carry out your market survey or your feasibility study. So this will not only help you to plan, but will also give you a clear-cut direction on to give you an understanding on your startup cost and the financial expectation. That is how you can break even at the end of the day. So study the market, very important. You have to know the cost of the regular cost of transportation from one location to another, how you can impute your profits in it, and also the knowledge of spare parts. Since you're dealing with either a motor vehicle or a motorcycle, you have to be able to know the current market price of those of spare parts in the market, cost of fuel, and the likes, and also putting into consideration levies and permits that will probably be asked to pay on a daily basis or on a monthly basis, whichever, or even periodically. So these are the things you need to put in place when setting a clear financial expectation. This will not only guide you in planning, but it will also help you to know whether or not you need a loan or you need the help of an investor. So that being said, let's now talk about the next step, which is create a business plan. So a business plan is like your business roadmap. It helps you to set clear vision statements, mission statements, knowing what direction to take, and it also helps you to understand where you're going to, either in the short term or in the long term. So have a business plan. Like they always say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So consider a business plan as that roadmap, or your vision board, where you need to write your visions, your missions, how you intend to scale your business and the likes. So this helps you stay coordinated. Yes, you are not doing things haphazard. You are structured. You are well informed. So having a business plan is important. It is a roadmap for an important roadmap for your business. So let's talk about the next step, which is very important as well. Register your business with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Any business you intend to operate in Nigeria has to be registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission. It not only gives you that legal status, but it also helps to build trust. Yes, your customers will be able to rely on your business, knowing fully well that it is registered with the appropriate authority. So apart from that, some of these documents, including and most importantly this Corporate Affairs Commission, the ones issued to you upon registration, your certificate of incorporation, your members, status reports. So these documents are very vital, because at the point where you need to apply for a grant or a loan, or even go into a partnership, these documents will be demanded for. So it's very important that you incorporate your business with the Corporate Affairs Commission. And also ensure that you get a tax identification number from the FIRS or the appropriate tax authority. Yes, this will help you to file your tax returns to the appropriate authority. So now that we've mentioned this step, let's now talk about acquiring a vehicle. Yes, so because you're dealing with passengers or either goods, you will need something to convey them. So either you're going to opt for a vehicle, or you're going to opt for a tricycle, or whatever it is you want to opt for. It's important that you either acquire ownership of it, or you either go into a lease agreement with someone. So in doing so, you have to be able to start out with, if you're considering buying a vehicle, you have to be able to start out with a vehicle that has a high mileage with low maintenance. So we have some of them, such as Toyota, Hiace, Sienna, and the rest of them. So just do your market survey. But it's important that you go for something that you will be able to enjoy it, and also something that is durable with low maintenance. Of course, you don't want to acquire a vehicle or a motorcycle that will end up putting you in trouble, and putting you at a more disadvantaged position where you have to either spend majority of your profit or most of your profits at the mechanics. You don't want to do that. So it's important that you acquire a good or durable vehicle or motorcycle for this type of business. So let's now talk about safety and regular maintenance, which is one of the steps for starting a road transport business. So because you're dealing with a vehicle or motorcycle, whichever one you want to opt for, you have to be able to maintain it regularly, because vehicles wear out with time, parts wear out with time. So you have to do your check-ins, check for brakes, lights, and the rest of them, and ensure that you properly maintain your vehicle, keep it up to standard, and ensure you do this so you don't suffer any sort of breakdowns on the road, or which may indirectly affect your business. It might lead to low patronage from passengers. You don't want to do that. So it's important that you carry out regular check-ins, check for parts, carry out regular maintenance of your vehicle, check the parts, the internal, external, and ensure that everything is intact. So let's now talk about staying legally updated, which is the last but not the least step you need to take. So in acquiring licenses, right, you have to be able to check whether these licenses are renewable. Yes, so some licenses are renewable, some are not. Some of them, of course, do not last forever, which is why you have to either have a compliance officer in your business that will help you, do these regular checkups and apply for renewal when due. So it's important that you stay on the right side of the law by being updated on what is legally obtainable, for your business. So if you acquire a license today or if you acquire a permit today, you have to be able to check if it has an expiry date, when you have to renew it, and just so be on the safe side of the law. So another important step which I should have talked about for now is acquiring necessary licenses and permits. So because your business is in Nigeria, and if you end up choosing a particular state where you want to operate your business, there are certain licenses which are necessary and very compulsory for your business. So some of them are having a commercial driver's vehicle, roadworthiness certificate, driver's license, and the rest of them, including local permits and licenses. Even states have their own. So starting a road transport business involves having the right licenses and permits to start your business, which, like I said, you can either have them at the federal level, states, or local level. You have to obtain them in order to, start your business. So I mentioned having a roadworthiness certificate, having a commercial driver's certificate or vehicle license. Yes, and you can even go as far as having, depending on the industry or depending on the niche that you want to opt for, you can even have fuel carrier's license. Yes, that's if your business is into carriage of fuel. You may have to obtain fuel carrier's license, or even for oversized goods. Yes, there are licenses for that. So you need to do your study, know which licenses or permits are obtainable, whether at the state level, local, or federal level. So this is very important. So in conclusion, starting a road transport business is highly profitable. That is, if you know the right steps to take, and it also involves compliance. It also involves good maintenance and clear strategy. So if you have a good strategy, you comply with the dictates of the law, with the necessary things you are meant to comply with, then you are well on your way to having a profitable business, especially if you take these steps into consideration. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share this video with your contacts or anyone that is interested in starting a road transport business. And do not forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, leave your comments in the comment section, and we will definitely attend to you. Till I come your way next time. Bye-bye.